Hi, this is Joelle, and I'm the Viberarian. I am here to elevate, enlighten, and empower. I am popping on today because I had to do a quick reading. So, there's lots of things that happen to me on a constant basis that are very connective and synchronistic. And I just love being aligned with the flow of the divine that is all around us and being able to be aware and have the eyes to see and ears to hear. So, I've mentioned many times that I'm connected to a lady named Nikki out of the UK. She runs a channel called Divine Love Crystal Grid on YouTube, and she has been doing such amazing work to help bring unconditional love to the planet. And a few years ago, I joined her crystal grid that she creates and maintains. And ever since then, our connection has just been so beautiful and loving. And she's always sharing synchronistic things on her channel, and it never fails to synchronize with something that I've experienced as well. So, just in her most recent reading, she mentioned a very familiar name to me. And last week, I ordered a new deck of cards. Now, I love oracle cards as a person who is clairvoyant and able to receive messages through symbols and images. They really speak to me very strongly. So, as you can see, I have quite a collection of decks behind me here. I can't tell which way to turn. Anyway, my personal collection at this point is grown to be, I think, over 60 decks. And so I'm always looking for new ways to receive information. And so just last week, I saw a deck that I thought would be very interesting to use on Amazon. And you can really use anything that has images to be able to connect to your psychic site and to receive messages. It doesn't have to be called an oracle card deck or a tarot deck. You can really read flashcards or pictures, symbols, and images. So I'm always looking for atypical things to use as a way to receive guidance. So I stumbled upon the cutest little thing, and I thought I have to get these and see if I can use it for readings. So those of you who live in the United States of a certain age, I'm 48. If you grew up in the 70s and 80s, then you might be familiar with a man by the name of Bob Ross. Okay. Bob Ross he was on public television and he was painting and he was kind of a groovy fellow. And he was very much about teaching people to just go with the flow and go with their art. So when I saw this bingo set, I knew that there would be cards with it. So I ordered it and just got it the other day. Now, interestingly enough, in Nikki's video, she mentioned today Bob Ross. And she mentioned a Bob Ross that's connected with transcendental meditation. So I'm not necessarily familiar with that Bob Ross, but I thought I've been waiting to do a public reading with the Bob Ross cards. I've used it with a couple clients, and it's been very insightful in the last couple days. So I wanted to do a reading for the general collective. So these cards are adorable. As you can see, they have the Bob Ross signature fro that he was kind of known for on the back. And then there's various messages having to do with pictures and colors. And the point is to play bingo with a group of people. But what I want to do is tap in today and see what messages are here for us. We are the Bob Ross of our reality. By that, I mean that we are actually painting. We are in real time painting a picture of the reality that we are experiencing. And so all the energy that we're putting out is then being reflected back to us in the world that we see around us. So if you are painting a picture full of joy and happiness and love, then the world that you see emerge around you will then reflect that picture back to you. And we have so much more power than what we realize as co-creators. So, in terms of the messages for today, which is Mother's Day here in the United States, I don't know if it's a global kind of thing, but it's a day when we're celebrating motherhood and certainly our divine mother, the divine feminine, who I'm very connected with, of course, and our mothers here in spirit and in truth. And so also Earth as our mother, Gaia, as well. So I want to see what messages want to come forward for us to support our uh, energies today, and we'll see what interesting aspects come up. So, the thing to do when you're reading images and guidances, you're tapping into your higher self and the divine. And whenever I do a reading, I always ask that the messages that I receive are of unconditionally loving vibration and truth, and that they are for the best and highest good of myself and any others who receive it. And so it is. So, let's see what unconditionally loving guidance Bob wants to share with us today. Dark sienna. This is speaking to me of sienna is kind of a reddish brown, and here in Georgia we have red clay, but to me this speaks of grounding and making sure that we are connected and rooted in these times that are happening right now. There's so much uncertainty and so much that is up in the air. Our normal world has been upended, and it can make some people feel lost. So what we want to do is make sure that we are grounding ourselves into Mother Earth. Today, go out, hug a tree. Thank the Mother Earth for hosting us in such a beautiful way with all of the glorious nature that we are able to experience, from the birds and the bees to the beautiful bounty of fruits and vegetables that grow from it, the wood that we use to create our homes and products, all that she gifts us from her abundance. Go out, put your feet on the ground, ground yourself, touch a tree. Remember that you are unshakable in the midst of any storms. Trees that are healthy are able to flex and bend with the wind rather than breaking. So, in these times, make sure that you are grounded in yourself, and then you will be less likely to be subject to the energies that are around you that could be upsetting. Our next message we have here is gorgeous little snowdrift. Very interesting. Let me tap in. What I'm seeing here is this deep blue of the lake in the picture, and this emotions that blue always speaks to emotions to me, right? Now, snow is very cold and chilly and icy. And so, what I could say is that we need to look to see if there are any emotions that we might have frozen or chilled, put on ice, and examine those things that we might have suppressed or, like I said, iced or chilled out, so that it doesn't necessarily come to our awareness, to the surface of our awareness right now. We want to make sure that we go ahead and process anything that is not moving. And in those feelings, there is beauty. The gorgeous little snowdrift, right? Ice snow is very cold. It can hurt your body and your fingers, but it is also absolutely beautiful. So, those feelings that we may have frozen out that might be too painful for us to deal with, we have to remember that in moving through the pain, be it grief or sadness or anger, there will be a beauty to be experienced in processing those things, allowing that snow and ice to drift instead of solidify, instead of packing in like a hard snow that's wet and dense, that we allow those things to fluff and process so that they can float away more easily. All right. Yellow ochre. Okay. This is the solar plexus energy to me. And so we are very much empowered in terms of grabbing hold of all of our abilities and all that we have been gifted with in terms of our energy and our spirit. We can do it. we absolutely can meet any challenge that is facing us. And I think that we need to approach the current time with the energies of a strength, and that the sun is going to shine, and that even in the midst of all of this, the sun is actually shining. It may feel like things are dreary and gloomy and doomy and filled with fear for you, but I would challenge you to shift out of that and realize that we are empowered to create the humanity that we want to experience. We are empowered to paint the picture of our reality. And so anything that is like a lower frequency, I would challenge you to go ahead and release that energy and think about the sunshine and the positive. Don't envision us all in masks, and shuffling through in separated, isolated little bubbles in response to this global experience that we're having. Envision us being able to freely associate with each other out in the sunshine, out in nature. One of the things that I've noticed during this time of everyone being off is how many more people are actually outside running, walking. You see people out just sitting in the grass, with their pets. It's beautiful to see that we're able to partake of so much more of our reality because part of our reality is no longer available to us. So let's be empowered to carry the energy of a continued future that does have space for nature, that does have clear air and clean water, that has healthy people who are able to interact with each other. Let's feel empowered to go ahead and create that reality of the new earth as it is coming forward. And then we also have mountain mixture. Now, this card is a purple color, and that to me speaks of my crown and upper chakras and the mixture of us and our divine as co creators. We are absolutely bringing down and have the ability to tap into our higher consciousness and the universal of all that is, which is pure love. And we are absolutely meant to bring that into our mix. We're not just supposed to be speaking from our headspace in terms of, and our ego and our 3D perspective as we're living our life and creating it. We are meant to mix what we are with the divine aspect of what we are in terms of bringing our life into reality. So, again, and also, speaking of mountains, and there are mountains also, in this picture. One of my favorite poems is The House by the Side of the Road by Sam Walter Foss. And in it, it says, it talks about living by your house by the side of the road to be a friend to man. And in it, it talks about how we can be withdrawn in our own place, but we also then can serve the others who we encounter who are on their journey. We can listen to them, we can offer a compassionate word. We are just basically encouraged to be a friend to man or all mankind. And in it, it says that, I know that there are brook gladdened meadows ahead and mountains of wearisome height, that the road stretches on to the late afternoon and passes away to the night. But still I rejoice when the strangers that rejoice, and weep with the strangers who moan, nor live in my house by the side of the road like a man who dwells alone. So, I probably didn't get all of that exactly right, but the energy of it is that we all will face mountains, and we all then receive green pastures. It's just the nature of our human ascension journey, that we do have to be able to weather, and we have within us the ability to climb these mountains, to surmount them, and to reach the brook gladdened meadows on the other side. And certainly, right now, we are surmounting great mountains, and it seems like there's one thing after another that comes up. But know that even though it seems like it is going to continue forever, it is not. And that there is a sunny day and a sunshiny brook gladdened meadow for us all to dwell in the sunshine going forward. So, I love these cards. I think these are very interesting. If you're interested in getting these, I don't make any commissions or affiliates from any of this. This is the Bob Ross Bingo set, and it's from Prime Party. You can see there's many, many different pictures. Some of them are pictures, some of them are colors. Oh, look. I knew you could do it. And this is green. It's so much green. We can absolutely do it. Oh, and this looks like a brook gladden type of meadow that you would see coming into a clearing. And the green is all about heart. We can do this. We can absolutely create the reality that we wish to see. We can create the loving and harmonious, heart centered new earth that we all feel in our hearts. And this is our natural state of being. And I'm really grateful today. Thank you, Bob Ross, for your presence through my childhood and all the times that I sat and watched you paint on TV as a child, and for your messages that are still resonating for people to follow their desires. And there's no such thing as a mistake, and just to paint the picture that you have. And I see for us a beautiful and glorious day coming sooner than we think. So all of you, please check out Nikki and her messages. If you're a twin flame, you'll definitely be interested in tapping into the collective energies that she has. And you'll also, I also saw license plate number 2727 yesterday. So let me see here from her books, Little Book of Divine. We're going to look at a little book of divine magic mantras, okay? And let's see what number 27's mantra is for us today. I dispel my fears by believing in the magic of being me. I dispel my fears by believing the magic of being me. Beautiful message. I will be back on again soon with more readings and more guidance. Please follow the Viberarian on Facebook. Subscribe, like, comment, share with your friends. Check out Nikki on Divine Love Crystal Grid, and we use the hashtag Grow the Flame on Instagram. And if you have anything that you want to tag for me, please tag Good Vibe Tribe. I would love to connect with you. As we know, your vibe attracts your tribe. All right. The light in me absolutely honors the light in you. Namaste.